Is it going to work? Hey, there it is. I don't know what happened, but it wasn't working. So sorry I'm a minute late, everyone. Didn't mean to do that. I did put out a community post, though, a minute ago, being like, I was trying to go live, and it was like, no, something's wrong. We can't do it. So restarted Streamlabs, and now we're fine. So it's great. Hi, everyone. How's it going? Lovely to see you. For some reason, I'm still having issues, but it's okay. We're not gonna worry about that. It's fine. So, I put out a post. Not a post. Well, yes, a post. A votey thing. You guys know what I'm talking about. A poll. That's the word I'm looking for. I put out a poll. And I was like, hey, guys, what do we want to see? Sovereign citizens or auditors? And the vote was for sovereign citizens, and I approve. Although I would have said the same thing for auditors, because also approve. And if it had been close, I would have just gone with James Freeman, which is kind of both. But that's neither here nor there. Where's the gavel? Rennie, where's the gavel? Well, I don't know why I'd be quiet, because my microphone is in the red right now. So that sounds like a you problem. I always say that because she's my mod. Anyway, yes, my microphone is in the red on the thing. So, guys, you know how distracted I get and how important audio is. But regardless, in the box waiting for the... Oh, okay, yeah, no, reading comments. Don't worry about me, folks. So, sovereign citizens, yes. Last time we did this, we did a video from DDS TV who had compiled some short clips of sovereign citizens. We're doing that again because they're short clips, and you know how I like to talk for a really, really long time, which means that short clips become really long videos. So we're doing that again. DDS TV is the channel. Check them out. Give them likes. Subscribe to them. Say hi. Whatever. They're doing pretty well for themselves. So, good for them. DDS TV, if you don't like me using your videos, please let me know. Although, to be fair, you took these videos from other places as well, I believe. So I feel like it's fair game, especially since I'm going to be using them in transformative nature. Now, speaking of transformative nature, that means I'm going to be stopping and pausing and talking a lot. And regardless of transformative nature, I would do that anyway because I'm going to break this down. And if you want to see these videos uninterrupted, go watch the original videos, right? You can find this on Sovereign Citizens versus Cops / Messing with the Wrong Cops #1. Last time we did number 10 because that was just the first one I found. But now I feel like we should start with number 1. So if you want to see uninterrupted, go do that. I'm going to be interrupting a lot. There's going to be a lot of pausing, a lot of breakdowns, a lot of technical stuff. That's the whole point, right? So if you go to my comment section later, and I say this because some of you are doing this, right? I'm going to dunk on you, all right? I'm gonna goof straight on your comment, and I'm just going to be like, oh gosh. I'm going to be snarky, and some of you might get your feelings hurt, and I'm going to have a lot of fun with it, and you might not. So that's what's going to happen. I'm warning you right now, within the first 3 minutes of this video, I'm going to be pausing it frequently. Cameo. Thank you. Quick comment on the last stream. The term sovereign citizen bothers me as a Native American from who actually are sovereign. That's fair, but that's what they decided to name themselves. So here we are. Anyway, there's my headphones. I had it right there. Anything before I start going? Oh, Pebmets. Thank you so much. Hope all is well. Looking forward to another interesting live stream. Me too. Thank you, Pebmets. Justin Benjamin, how is it going? Good evening from Central Florida. Oh, you poor thing. You poor thing. Good evening. Anyway, there we go. Now the stuff's starting. A little bit of delay there. Over there, I believe it is. Yep, looked in the right direction. Good. So, yes, Jeremy DeWitt stuff. I know a lot of people are like, where's the Jeremy DeWitt stuff? Well, not much is happening. I'm trying to put out a video on Jeremy DeWitt, but we're trying to find the files that I got for it. There are files that are important to the video, and I don't know where they went. So we're working on it. Am I drinking Moscow Mule? No, it is in fact water. So, all right, I feel like we've we start. No, Jeremy stream. Well, what would I exactly stream about? There's not that much more new content because he's in jail. Although there is new stuff that hasn't been put out that's actually old stuff, but I have scripts on that I'm going to make into real videos. So, yes. Anyway, do I think Jeremy DeWitt will be released from custody again on bail? Maybe. I have no idea. I'm not super familiar with the bail process. I hope he is, because I have big plans that require him to be out of jail. So, unfortunately. Thank you, Rochelle. Thank you. Anyway, what is that light going off? What light going off? I don't know. Nope, Aaron, just started. I'm just talking for the first few minutes. But I feel like that's enough talking. You know what? The moment I start streaming, this stops working. Why? Why would it stop working? Alec, that's a great question. Probably when I'm not insanely busy. Now, I do have bad news for you guys, because 2 seconds ago, and by 2 seconds I mean 7 minutes ago, the internet was working on this stream. And yes, I updated my video drivers. But now it's not. So that's not good. What do I do? Well, I entertain you. I talk to you guys while trying to make this happen. Is that? There we go. I got it. I figured it out, folks. Okay, well, what? Hold on. No. What? No. Ha! We're doing live, folks. Problems with live streams. Zoop. There's that. What is happening? Everything is wrong. I hate it. Anyway, how's it going, Matt? Let me just fix this real quick. Okay, cool. I never said I was a professional. I'm just a guy. All right, I feel like that works. Oh, hot. Oh, wait, check it out. Pull up the video. It works. I've been slowly inputting voice commands. There aren't many yet, but I've been slowly inputting them. Okay, that was weird. Doesn't matter. And some of the stuff it's supposed to be working isn't working, but it's fine. It's fine. It's what happens when you do it live. It's fine. All right, so we're gonna start this. This is DDS TV's Sovereign Citizen versus Cops / Messing with the Wrong Cops #1 breakdown of what's happening in there. Let's do it, baby.
I know how the spill goes. Do you have your driver's license? Has there been a crime committed? Do you have your
All right, immediately we're stopping right there because, of course, we are. Traffic stop. All right, guy's been pulled over by the police, and the guy goes, has a crime been committed? And this isn't necessarily a sovereign citizen statement, but it is something that they'll often ask. And then if you want to know if they're a sovereign citizen or not, they'll follow it up with, is there a victim? Something like that. That is the indicator that they're a sovereign citizen. Just ask if a crime has occurred, not necessarily. Although in California, they try to play the traffic infractions aren't crimes, and therefore you can't pull me over for them. It doesn't actually work that way. And also they try to do that outside of California, when in reality, the argument that they generally use for that is strictly based in California. It's a whole thing. It doesn't really make sense. But a few bulbs in the wide shot. What are you lighting? The lighting's identical. It's the identical lighting. What? I don't know what you guys are talking about. Anyway, so we're going to keep going.
Can I have your name and badge number, please?
Okay, fair question.
Do you mind giving me your name and badge number so I know who I'm dealing with, please, sir? Sir, you need to identify yourself.
And that is true. The guy does need to identify himself, but the officer is also supposed to give his name and badge number when it is reasonable and safe to do so. Now, I can't think of a reason why it would not be reasonable and safe to do so at this moment. So, officer is getting one of those, and I'm not saying he's necessarily wrong. It's just that he definitely probably should be giving that. Although, to be fair, the driver should also be giving his stuff. So, I guess they're both wrong here. Matt, thank you. Look at clean green screen behind me. Yes. It's just how I do. Hold on. Is this going to... Boop. Yeah. Ha. That's actually, no, that's not even the real green screen. That's green applied over the green screen with the green screen taken out. That's for other things. Don't worry about it. So, also, I saw someone said the beard is back. Well, for now, it's getting shaved next week because National Guard. So this is like a couple weeks of growth, and I have to shave it again. Those jerks. So all right, let's keep watching this dude. Come on, anytime. There we go.
I mean, I'm asking for you to identify yourself.
You're identifying yourself, and then we'll talk about mine.
Have I done anything unlawful?
Yes.
Okay, now to be fair to the officer's credit, he does say you identify yourself, and then I will identify myself, which isn't necessarily a bad call to make. There are some issues with that. One, that is something you can do for something like if you decline to tell them why they've been stopped, you can do that. If they go, why have I been stopped? You go, I'll tell you once I get your ID, which is kind of like what the officer's doing now, except he's saying, I will identify myself once I have you identified. The problem is this person trying to identify them because he doesn't believe they're police officers, which I would consider unreasonable? Or is this person trying to identify them so that he can exercise his right to petition the government for redress of grievances, which is a First Amendment right? You'd think I know that off the top of my head. It's kind of embarrassing that it didn't work. So the fact that the officer said that, like, I'll tell you once you tell me, is good. That's good for him. It may not be advisable, but I don't have all the facts to this situation, how well known this guy is in that area, if he's known to be a runner, et cetera, et cetera. So, again, I don't like that he's not giving his name, but at least he says, I will give it to you after you identify. It gets a little weird gray area, but officer is, it's not great. It's not great. It's not totally wrong. It's not great. Amir Bey, thank you.
Your license plate.
That's unlawful.
Yes.
Have I done anything unlawful?
Yes, your license plate.
License plate is unlawful. Now, here, that kind of ruins the argument. I'm not identifying until he identifies, or along the lines of, I'm not going to tell him what he's done wrong until he identifies, that sort of thing. The reason why you wouldn't want to tell someone why they've been pulled over before they identify is in case they decide that they want to run based on what you tell them. If I go, well, I've stopped you because we think this is a stolen vehicle, they might take off, right? If they're trying to sort of play it cool and get away with it. So you get the ID, and then if they take off, you go, all right, well, now I don't have to engage in a dangerous high-speed chase that puts lives in danger that aren't mine and his, and are in fact other people on the road who are not involved at all. So that is why you would generally sort of wait to get the ID before explaining why they've been pulled over. Is that going to apply here as far as the officer's name and badge number? No. Now he sort of ruined that argument based on I don't have to tell them what they've been pulled over for until I have the ID. Why would I need to tell them who I am? Argument's out the window. Hope that makes sense. A little confusing. I don't like that the officer isn't identifying himself. Not necessarily grounds for anything against the officer, but it's not great. This guy is wrong for not identifying himself to the police officer, though. So, sorry, dude. Not seeing anything that actually indicates he's a sovereign citizen yet, though. Maybe he's just confrontational.
That's unlawful.
Yes. Anyway,
unless, of course, sorry to interrupt again, the license plate is a sovereign citizen license plate, but we haven't had any indicator that that is the case. It could just be improperly displayed. It might not be on the vehicle at all. It might be a whole lot of things. So,
go ahead and step out for me.
All right. Orders him to step out. Oh, goodness. And opens the door. Yes, the officers can open your door if they believe that you might try to sort of barricade yourself in your vehicle, lock the doors, roll the windows, etc. Yes, officers can open your door. Yes, you do have to step out. Again, Pennsylvania versus Mims, the Supreme Court case, it basically states that the mere fact that a traffic stop is happening is grounds for an officer to move you out of the vehicle, and any occupants of the vehicle, although I think that comes down to a different court case, maybe. I don't know. The Supreme Court has a couple cases, and basically you put them all together and establish that an officer can pull you out of a vehicle, put you in a vehicle, do that same thing for the passengers, etc., etc. There's nothing wrong so far, other direction, with what's going on with this dude right here, opening that door, ordering him out. There is still the issue of him not identifying himself with name and badge number, but other guy is also wrong, and in fact, probably more wrong than the officer is. What is going on, dude?
Guns, knives, anything like that on you?
I don't answer any questions.
All right. No guns, no knives, anything like that on you? I don't answer any questions. Well, that's probably a good question to answer. Not that they're going to pat you down anyway. They're going to do that whole Terry frisk. And if you're arrested, search incident to an arrest where they actually go into the pockets, etc. But if an officer says, do you have any dangerous things on you? And you go, I'm not going to tell you. That's probably not a good thing, especially since they're probably going to find out if you do. And if someone says that they're not going to tell me if they have a knife or, needle or a gun or whatever on them, I'm going to be real thorough within the applicable permissions of the law as far as, how far I can search. I'm going to be super thorough because now I do not have reason to not suspect. Double negative? Don't know what I'm saying. Now I think if he didn't have knives, he'd tell me that, right? But you do have the right to, not say these things to a police officer. It's fine. So it just might not give you the better result.
Hands right here. Spread your arms for it. Go for it. Spread your feet. No guns, knives, stuff like that?
I don't answer any questions without
there it is again.
a lawyer.
The camera was supposedly speeding and got pulled over.
Okay, camera being the guy filming. In case anyone's curious.
The camera was adamant in responding to the officer's questions and was eventually taken in for questioning and was cited.
Okay. Why is it doing it? I don't know if you guys are seeing it like flicker like that. All right, the camera was supposedly speeding, got pulled over. Now, the officer said it was something about the plates, I thought. So maybe it was both. He kept driving into a Home Depot parking lot. And I know we've talked about the Karen Nazario thing where, you can't, keep driving. If they're, right in front of the Home Depot, yes, you can make that turn. You could park, because it's safe to do so there. A mile is too far, almost certainly, right? But I'm pulling into a Home Depot. If it's right there, that's fine. Was adamant in responding. The camera was adamant in responding to the questions. I think adamant in saying that they weren't going to answer questions. That's fine. That's not a sovereign citizen thing. That's a personal choice, and you don't have to answer questions, usually with the exception of, identification if you are detained or in some states arrested. It gets complicated state by state by state. But in this case, no, the guy did not have to answer the question, are you carrying weapons, and all that good stuff. So he did have to identify himself, but whatever. And also, the Supreme Court has stated that your Fifth Amendment right to remain silent does not apply to the requirements to identify yourself during a traffic stop. There is no potential, or there's not enough potential for self-incrimination per the providing of identifying documents or identifying information to be a violation of the Fifth Amendment, if that makes sense. So any sovereign citizen who wants to argue, I don't have to identify because of the Fifth Amendment, that is not correct. Cool. Moving on. That feels like that's the end of that one. Moving on to the next one. Let's go.
Yes, sir.
Ready to pull you over, you got no tag on your vehicle.
It's not a tag.
Okay. No tag on a vehicle, lawful traffic stop. That's totally cool, right? If you're driving your car on a public road, car being truck vehicle, really anything, any motor vehicle, and your state will have each state will define what they consider a motor vehicle, and usually comes down to if it's less than this size of an engine, doesn't really count, but then it can't really be on the road, it has to be on a sidewalk, etc. It doesn't matter. Oh, so yes, you have to have your vehicle registered, it has to be insured, you have to have a license, etc. Apparently this guy does not have his vehicle registered. That's grounds for a traffic stop.
It's a flyer. I'm not operating in any regular activity.
I'm sorry, excuse me?
It's a flyer. I'm not operating in any regular activity.
Oh, that's gonna be a commerce argument right there. I know we talked about it last time. We're gonna talk about it again if it comes up. I think it is.
What?
I'm not operating in any regular activity or for hire capacity or in commerce.
There it is. All right. Sovereign citizens, almost all of them, think that they have the right to travel. I mean, you do have the right to travel. It's the whole thing. We're not going to get into where that comes from. Privileges and immunities clause. It doesn't matter. Supreme Court has talked about it. We're not going to get into it again. But they think, well, driving is traveling. Therefore, I have the right to drive. And driver's licenses, requirements to be insured, requirements to register the vehicle are all unconstitutional because they infringe on, or they are taxes on, the right to travel. No. The Supreme Court, no court, to my knowledge, has ever upheld this or agreed with this. This is nonsense. And they get this idea like, oh, well, traveling is a commercial, or driving is a commercial term, right? Whereas traveling is not. So if I'm driving in commerce, yes, I'm driving, right? I'm operating the motor vehicle. And they use all types of weird wordplay, like it's not a car, it's a vessel. And, you know, it's a motor vehicle per the law. And the argument comes from generally two places. There's a federal law, which I can't remember off the top of my head, which basically talks about interstate commerce. And it says, within this statute, and only in this statute, a driver is someone operating in commerce. Because, of course, every time they talk about a driver per the law, which is dealing specifically with interstate commerce, they are talking about the person who is operating in commerce. It's only for that one law, not all laws, that one law, right? Which is specifically a law dealing with commerce. So that law does not apply anywhere else to include all these state laws. You go, well, it's a federal law. It supersedes state laws. No, the state laws don't have anything to do with this. This is specifically about commerce over state lines. That's it, right? So that argument debunked. The other one is Black's Law Dictionary, 2nd edition, which is 100 years out of date. It's actually 101 years out of date, I want to say. And Black's Law Dictionary is an excellent law dictionary. It gives you a lot of good information about, what kind of terms mean what when it comes to the law. However, it is not a source of law itself. And the 2nd edition is old and out of date. And it says a driver is someone who is employed in, operating a motor vehicle. And sovereign citizens go, oh, employ, that means paid. And they fail to realize that employ has two different meanings. Mean to be paid to do something. Words are hard. I'm getting too fast. It can mean that you are being paid to do something, or it can mean that you are engaging in an activity. So if I employed a hammer on a nail, I would be using a hammer on a nail. I'm not paying that hammer to, do my drywall for me. That's not how that works. In later editions of Black's Law Dictionary, they actually took out the word employed. They swapped it out for a different one to avoid confusion. But sovereign citizens say that because those editions came out after 1930 whatever, when the United States went bankrupt, which it didn't, and became a corporation, which it didn't, to pay off debts, not how that works, and then, created straw man accounts for each individual that can be recognized by social security numbers, which is totally bonkers, right? They say everything that came out after that is not the real law anymore, which is insane, right? To justify this argument, they have to come up with the most insane stuff that makes no sense. So that's different. Riker, thank you. What have you missed? Oh, we're just talking about sovereign citizens. Cannabis Jones, you make a good point, though. They are not wrong. They are just in the wrong place. You can legally drive without plates and registration or insurance on private property. Public roads need to be kept safe using rules/law/insurance. Absolutely. These laws regarding, driver's licenses, your registration, insurance apply to public roads that the city, town, county, state, federal government has built, right? That's what that applies to. On your own property, do donuts all you want with an unregistered vehicle. It's fine, right? And even in some farming states or states with a lot of farming, they have certain rules about tractors, right? Like your tractor doesn't have to be registered when it goes onto the public road, but it can only drive on the public road for a certain distance. So if you're going from like farm to field, they're like, all right, we're going to be cool about it. So it's a whole thing. And they go, well, it infringes on my right to travel, though. And you go, well, you still got legs. You can still use a bus. You can still get a plane. You can still get a taxi, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Not how that works, bud. You can still travel. There's nothing impeding your ability to free egress and regress from or to and from a state or within the state, et cetera. You still have that ability. And just because, there's a more convenient method does not mean the state or the federal government has to provide it to you. Cool. That was a lot of information very quickly. So, sorry about that. We're going to keep going.
Yeah, you don't have a tag on the vehicle. That's the problem.
Did you read it?
No, yeah, it says not for hire. I understand that.
I bet you.
No, but when you're driving on the roadway, you have to have a registration tag on there.
No.
So do you have your license on you?
No,
He's
you don't
correct.
have to have that.
You do have
He's incorrect.
No, because it's a
Sovereign citizens, get the button already. No, you're incorrect. It has to be for hire. So we're gonna do this early on in the stream. Computer.
Sup nerd.
Hey, you watch yourself. Is this person dumb? How dumb is this person? How dumb is this person? Okay, well, it doesn't want to answer me. That's fine. Dumb. All right, they're dumb. It's being a little picky. Calling me a nerd. It's true though. All right. Moving on. Where's my mouse? There it is.
It's a commercial activity, and I'm not operating in a commercial activity.
All right, yeah. You are.
Tell me you don't know
All
that.
right, do you have your license on you?
What do I need a license for?
Driving a public road, you weirdo.
Are you refusing to?
All right, get out your package.
No, I'm not refusing to do anything.
You literally are.
Let me see your license.
Have I committed a crime?
Yes, you have. Well, traffic infraction. But you're about to commit a crime.
If you have your license on you, sir?
Do you have an ID?
Okay. So at this point, if he had asked what's your name and badge number, cool. Then we can have that same argument we had with the last video. Who I'm still not convinced is a sovereign citizen, but that's fine. It was still fun. I get the feeling he's about to ask for a business card, which a lot of sovereign citizens think that police have to provide. There are some departments that will provide you a business card upon request if they have any available, right? Or the police, not the department. Well, the department probably has business cards too, but the police, if they have them available, will give you a business card if the department requires that or permits it or whatever. However, to my knowledge, there is no legal requirement for them to provide a business card. And the argument becomes, well, how do I know you're a police officer if you don't have a business card? Bro, anybody can make a business card that says police on it. Right? Like, that tells you nothing. If you're legitimately concerned that someone, whether or not someone is a police officer, call 911 and confirm that a police officer has pulled you over. Cool. I don't even know if that's the argument going to be made. I'm just putting it out there right now.
Sir, do you have your license?
What? Smash this cup? It's a nice cup. I don't think I could smash it. It would just bounce.
Do you have an ID? I need you to show me some ID.
That is
A
incorrect.
certified ID from the state. I
Nope, not required.
want you to show it to me now.
Refusing to give your license right now is what you're saying?
Are you refusing to show me your ID right
Okay, so what this guy is thinking, his mindset is, well, if you can require me to provide ID, I can require you to provide ID. No, that's not how that works. Well, how does he have authority over me? Because he's a police officer, and the Constitution of the state gives him authority. Does not give you authority to do the same thing, right? Well, how can one person have more authority than another? Force, the ability to establish and maintain that authority, right? It's not a great answer. It's the right answer. I'm not saying like, oh yeah, that sounds great. Force. Ugh, that's how they, have authority over you. But that's true, right? If you want to abolish the government, you basically have to fight the government or convince them that they're wrong. Good luck with that. This guy, as an individual, I'm sure does not have the force required to change the entire state law.
now? You're required to show me an ID, and I want you to see. I want to see your ID right now. Do it.
All right. 1 second, sir.
We gotta.
Look. How long you been on the force?
All right, sir. I'm asking you a question.
I'm asking you now. Look, this is the way it goes.
But you have to answer his questions. There are very few questions that he has to answer. Well, you actually don't have to answer his questions. You do have to provide an ID or identifying information.
All right.
No.
I'm under arrest, right? Am I under
No,
arrest?
you're being detained for investigation to a person.
All right. It is an arrest. If I'm not free to go right now, it's an arrest. No,
That's not how that works. There are actually a variety of things you can be placed under. There is detention, which means you're not free to go. There is apprehension, which means that you are being generally brought somewhere, and then you'll be released to your own recognizance. And then the military uses that one more than really anyone else. And then there's an arrest, which is you are detained, you are in police custody, and you have your freedom of anything is much more limited. There is a difference, although there are similarities, sort of like a Venn diagram that crosses over itself. A detention is much less extreme than an arrest is, because when you're arrested, the restraint applied to you is much greater, if that makes sense. But he is ignoring the fact that, I don't know, sovereign citizens, they play this semantics game so much, but they don't understand that, arrest and detention are definitely two different things. Similarities, two different things. They'd be like, an apple and an orange are the exact same thing because they're both fruits. No, it's not. That's not. No. Mm-mm.
They either Mirandize me or detain. Look it up in the dictionary. Detain and Miranda. Detain and arrest is in the same sentence. Go look it up.
Correct.
I pulled you over. You don't have to
No, I don't know. I've already explained to you. We're past that.
On your way.
We're past that.
Give me your license, and I will have you exit the vehicle, where I will place you under arrest. And you can.
Okay. Yeah, you go ahead and do that. That's your discretion. All right. That'll be a violation of my constitutional rights. About
It won't be. He's referring to his Fourth Amendment rights to be free from unreasonable search and seizure. This is not unreasonable by any means. Karen, thank you. Have you seen that clip where that judge tells this opposite that there are laws and he can't pick and choose which ones he follows? I'm sure I have. But yes, they want to pick and choose which ones apply to them. They want all the benefits of, being a citizen without any of the responsibilities. Not how that works. And sometimes they'll say, well, I'm not an American citizen. I'm this other type of citizen. And you go, well, even if you're not an American citizen, being in the United States, you have to follow United States law. So if I went north and into Canada, I'd be bound by Canadian law. So I don't really know much about Canadian law. There are a lot of similarities between Canadian law and American law. But if I started making fun of Moose and Tim Hortons and said Canadian Mounties are stupid and there are laws that prohibit that sort of thing, I would be under arrest, despite the fact that here in America, I would have the right to do so, generally with some restrictions, etc. Right? You follow the laws of the country you're in. You're in America, and regardless of your citizenship, you have to follow the American laws, or United States laws, or United States of America laws, if you want to play the semantics game, right? If I travel to Europe, I have to obey the laws in that European country. I know, it's crazy, right? Doesn't work the way they think it does, I guess.
the time you take me to jail and take my vehicle, you're going to violate no less than 4, which is a $10,000 fine on you, and I can sue you personally. All right, now listen.
You can sue him. You can absolutely sue him. Doesn't mean you have a valid lawsuit, though. I don't know what 4 things he's are being violated, but good luck, dude.
This is the way it goes. I am under arrest, and if I'm not free to go, then I am under arrest.
Incorrect. I'm actually pausing to say hi, Daryl. How's Ottawa?
All right, so now I want you to show me a certified state ID right now. You're a pirate. I don't.
I'm sorry. I gotta stop for that. So, the pirate thing comes from Admiralty law, where they go, Admiralty law, law of the flag. See, when you're in international waters, the vessel that is in international waters follows the law of whatever flag it's flying, which is true, actually. And I made a video, I want to say, did I actually make the video, or did I just write the script? I'd have to check. But check this out. You look at cruise ships, Disney cruise ships, they're flying the Bahamian flag from Bahamas, right? And that way they can get out of American, pollution laws and employment laws and all that other stuff. It's much cheaper to register out of the Bahamas than it is the United States. So when you're out and about in the middle of the ocean, well, technically on Disney cruise ships, you can't legally wear camouflage clothing, because in the Bahamas, you cannot wear camouflage. It's restricted to police and military use, I believe, or whoever else gets permission to do it. Just a fun fact. So the argument is, well, Admiralty law, there's a second secret constitution that is under Admiralty law, despite the fact that Admiralty law actually falls under the original constitution. And they say, well, when you have fringe on a flag, that's the flag of a different country, a different constitution. And so when it's in a courtroom, it symbolically means that the court is a foreign vessel in international waters and that the law of this other secret constitution applies. Like, that's absurd. But then they call police pirates because, since Admiralty law and maritime law is a thing that we are completely wrong about, because it does exist, just not the way they think it does. And then the police are pirates, which also doesn't make sense. Admiralty law, by the way, is basically just the law that covers boats and waterways, sort of like how traffic law is the law that covers cars and roads. It's very simple. Karen, thank you. My sound is off. Well, I'll turn down the desktop. I can't turn up the microphone. It's already in the red.
Who you are? I don't know who you are.
Oh no, we got an ad. We're gonna mute that and take that, advertisements. You can't get me. I won't advertise your stuff free of charge. No way. It says certified state. Where have I heard this before? If Jeremy became a sovereign citizen, it would be the best day of my life, which isn't true, but it would be a very good day. It'd be a very good day. All right, ad has been skipped. Let's keep doing this.
Are you refusing to show me ID?
Yes,
Am I under
you have
arrest?
to.
As of right now, you are going to be under arrest. I need.
Boom. Why do you think he's under arrest? Well, that's because he's failing to ID. Actually, let's add up the charges. Unregistered vehicle. I'm going to assume no insurance. Almost certainly no license. Failure to provide license. Failure to identify. If the state has a failure to carry a license on you while you're driving, they could also do that. Now, some of these would replace others. They wouldn't all be charged at once. We got, what, 5 charges right now? Just for this? Great. Hey, how's it going, Arash? I think that's right. Did I say it right? I'm fairly certain. Thank you so much. Things are good. Things are okay. For now. My life is getting a little less... It's day by day. Day by day. But there's a guy named Marcel from the family Bissett. Is that the guy? Have I dealt with Marcel Bissett? That sounds super familiar, Alex. Okay, yeah, that's the crazy guy I was thinking of. I commented a couple of his videos. He never responded, I believe. Canadian law, I didn't actually question Canadian law. I'm just saying if I was in Canada, I'd have to follow Canadian law. And if they had a law prohibiting me from making fun of the mounted police or, Moose or Maple Syrup or Tim Hortons or whatever, then I'd have to obey that law, which prohibits me from doing those things. Similarly, if you are not a citizen of the United States, but you're within the United States, you have to follow United States law. Essentially. Cannabis Jones, we need to bring back civics. But I get the feeling that people who engage in the sovereign citizen stuff aren't people that generally went to a public school. Homeschooling. It can be really, really good. It can be really, really bad. You know what I'm saying? All right.
Why am I under
All
arrest?
right, sir. I need you to step out of the vehicle right now.
You tell me why I'm under arrest.
Sir.
I've already explained to him.
It feels like it should make sense.
I've already explained. You got ID?
Where's your driver's
I
license?
need you. All right, now you
No, I
made
need
contact
you
with
to
me.
Give me your driver's license.
You are required to show me on
You are required
demand.
to show me your driver's license.
You got to identify yourself.
I mean, at this point, just grab him, right? You're not going to get anywhere. You know you're not going to get anywhere. Grab him and pull him out, right? Just go for it, man. Classic Moscow goes, yeah, it's military special. No, it's not. It's just water. No, just a little water.
Brother?
Hey, buddy.
Kathleen, you can watch these afterwards, right? Go have your hot date. You can come back later. Oh, Cannabis Jones, don't I know it? Yes. 3 Men on the Land leader taught himself law, and he taught himself wrong. Yes, he did. Oh, boy.
Certified state ID.
Do it, John.
There you go.
Now, do it.
There you go. And guess what? You are required to give me your driver's license.
What makes you think I'm driving?
Okay? You will just stop.
What makes that? Does that
Works. Windsor, Virginia Police Lieutenant fixing to ride the lightning. Yeah. Hey, don't tell him he's about to go in an electric chair, man. God, it made me so angry. Like, the attorney. Fixing the ride lightning, by the way. This is a Karen Nazario reference. Karen Nazario's attorney was like, fixing the ride the lightning means you're going to get the electric chair. No. In the context of, like, corrections officers, maybe. In the context of police officers, no. And I can understand how someone on scene might be like, what? But you have an attorney who's supposed to be, like, doing a little bit of research, putting together this lawsuit. Come on, guy. Really? Anyways, Nuts Lost Jack. Thank you. What is that? That's hilarious. Oh, man.
does that make me driving just because I was stopped?
Really?
You don't.
Okay. I wasn't driving. I'm stopped. Yeah. How do you think you got to this particular point? Just Eagle picked up your car and dropped you there? Come on, guy. And this is why generally there are a lot of laws that will be like, not necessarily driving without your vehicle being registered, but if your vehicle is parked on a public street and it doesn't have a license plate, it can get towed, right? Because although maybe it's not a moving violation, it's still a problem because it's going to have to get moved somehow. So why not let the police assist you with it? But yes, I'm fairly certain they watched him move there.
Don't know what driving means. Look it up. Drivers, operators, and travelers. Guess which one I am?
You're all of them, guy. You're operating a motor vehicle. You are traveling in your motor vehicle, but you're also driving it. You're all three. And while you have the right to drive, they have the right to travel, you don't have the right to drive. Now, you can't be unreasonably restricted from getting a driver's license, but you still got to get one.
What are you?
Traveler.
Travel. Really?
Look it up in the DMV. Right up under drivers and operators, there's travelers. Not required to have a driver's license. All commercial activity.
All right, put your hands on the wheel.
All right.
Oh, about to get
I
away.
need your name.
Sir, do you have a driver's license with the state of Georgia?
Do you have a certified state ID? I need to see it. Do it now.
Hey, you're not seeing anything.
Well, you're required to by law. Show me ID, bro.
Show me the law. There is no law that requires that, to my knowledge. I mean, this guy's got his packet of papers. Surely it's in there somewhere.
Brother, I don't know who you are. You're in a costume.
Oh, you know who I am.
I do not know who you are.
Okay. Sir.
Are you refusing to show me ID?
Hey, it doesn't matter what I'm refusing.
What?
It's what you're refusing right now.
I'm not refusing to do anything. I haven't committed a crime.
Yes, you have. The crime you've committed now is failure to ID. That's a crime. All right, that's an arrestable offense. Now, not having registration on your vehicle, a license plate, maybe not be arrestable, but you can still get a ticket. So, all these people are like, I studied law. I know what I'm talking about. Like, you studied the wrong laws, bud. I'm dealing with the one-stop 14th Amendment audit shop guy that Schrodinger's cat talked about. Did a video on. And I'm going to be making a more in-depth video because One Stop decided to do a counter video, be like, this guy doesn't know anything. So, okay, let's break it down for you, bud. And I've been in his comment section. He's been real upset with me because I'm pointing out things that are true to him and making him kind of look stupid. But he studied, federal law that he's trying to apply to a civil case. And even if it was a criminal case, it wouldn't be federal. It would be state. So, he's like, I studied law. I'm a lawyer because I studied law. Like, that's not what makes you a lawyer. Not how that works. But he's done very little studying. He doesn't know how civil, laws work and, civil court, which is, he should because he deals with civil stuff a lot. He has a lot of videos, a lot of incidents where he's like, this is criminal. No, it's civil. You fool, right? If you're going to study law, you kind of got to do it from the ground up, not just somewhere in the middle and then hope it all pieces itself together because you're going to piece it together wrong. It's like taking a bunch of puzzles and mixing them up and being like, I'm just going to put them, whatever fits, right? It's not going to work. James, is it wrong that the accent makes it funnier? It kind of does, doesn't it? I don't know. I couldn't articulate why, but it kind of does. Yeah, demand trial by combat. People have done that recently. It's hilarious.
Look at this.
Doesn't work.
Are you going to show us your driver's license?
Look at this. We got them circling. I'm surrounded by
That's because they're about to arrest you, dude.
cops now.
Hey, sir.
I'm not operating in commerce. Do you understand that? Those are commercial activities.
All right, so I need to step out of the vehicle right now, or this window's going to be busted. We'll take you out of the vehicle.
I hope you do.
Get him.
All right, so I need you to lower the window right now, or walk out of the.
I'm invoking my rights. All right.
Which rights? Which rights, sir? Which rights you're invoking? You don't have any rights to invoke here that prohibit you from. I don't know. It's a whole thing. I want to know what rights.
All right, hey, sir, put your hand on the wheel.
Oh, that was a good hit.
All right,
Let's see
hey,
that
sir,
again.
put your hand on the wheel.
Oh my God, they hit that hard. One more
All
time.
right, hey, sir,
One
put
more
your hand on the
time.
wheel.
Ah, there it is. Oh, it's so good. Get him.
Why'd you have to bust both of them for?
In case you make a break for it to the other side. Right? I was thinking, well, okay, why do they bust both windows? To make sure they can get to him. Right? Because if he starts fighting, they have to go in from the other side and restrain him from both ends. So, now, breaking like the back windows, maybe no good. But breaking that side window, absolutely. Yeah, that is a tactic for sure. It's so good. That was a good hit too.
Hands up.
I have a bad wrist.
Get out of the vehicle. Get out of the vehicle.
You should have thought about your bad wrist before you decided to engage in all this stupidity. Huh?
Pull him out.
The camera was stating that he was a sovereign citizen and that the laws that apply to everyone did not apply to him.
True.
The officers arrested him and charged him with multiple charges, including but not limited to resisting arrest.
All right, so on top, assuming this is true, on top of the 5 that I already came up with off the top of my head, we've got a 6th, which is resisting arrest. Now, I don't know if that's accurate. I don't see it on the video. Well, resisting without force, maybe. Don't know, but at least some of those charges are going to stick. And the police are not going to be paying for that window. He is. Sucks to suck.
Conversation being recorded, okay?
Oh, I know this one. I almost made a video. Back when I was first starting Sovereign Citizens, the videos, I had this one saved. Because there's this, I hate to be mean, but this officer, this is in somewhere in Oregon, I believe. Aaron, thank you. Conspiracies. Safe Light started the Stop Sit movement. I love it. This is in Oregon. And there's this goofy looking like kid of a police officer who is actually incredible, right? Like, I look at this guy and go, what's like the army in me starts coming out, like, what is that? What is that little goatee thingy going on? Like, present yourself with more, officialness or something. But this guy knows his stuff, if I remember correctly. He did very well, but he just looks so goofy. Not that I don't also, often look goofy. Nothing wrong. I feel bad for saying it because, like, that's not an indicator of your skill as a police officer. I'm just like, damn, if this guy pulled up to me, like, I might try to sort of mess with him a little bit, which is wrong, but I might, like, play some cards and see how he responded just to sort of test him for my own amusement, which is dangerous. Don't do that unless you know exactly what you're doing, which I only kind of know. So it's a whole thing. See Carlo go, hey, how's it going? I'm invoking my right not to contract with you while I'm traveling because you are obviously the Illuminati, and that's why aliens don't wear hats. Yes, it's about as much sense as anything else they say. So yeah, now that I'm done, like, feeling bad about myself for making fun of this guy, despite the fact that he's actually really good, we're gonna move on, and I still feel bad about it.
Yes, it is being recorded.
Great. The reason I'm stopping you is aren't aware, but your license is suspended.
Oh, that's grounds for a traffic stop. In some places, that's grounds to even have your vehicle towed, depending on how many times you've been caught driving with suspended license. Now, if I remember correctly, Oregon has a couple laws on driving without a license. One is driving without a license because you've never been issued one. One is driving while license is suspended. Now, Washington has a few different versions, if I remember correctly, at least unless they've changed it since I last enforced it. They have a few different versions of driving with license suspended. One will get you a ticket, like another will actually get your car towed and you'll be arrested. It's a whole thing. Oregon, I don't think has that. I think it's a single ticket, and it's an expensive ticket. It's like around $500 for driving while license suspended. So, like, that's a lot. That's a lot of money. So that's a problem for them.
Okay.
Okay. You have your driver's license?
I'm sorry. What, Alex? All right. We got to go to the comment section of my stream here. Alex says, "OMG, the guy that's riding shotgun in this, the husband who gets arrested, and ended up killing a woman in a head-on collision later than the multiple videos, including this one, charged with manslaughter." Yeah, manslaughter is right. So yeah, the guy filming, who is the husband, who I believe we'll see later in the video, I guess, according to Alex, got in a head-on collision, and I assume went to jail for that because manslaughter. Yeah. So the reasons why I don't like sovereign citizens: people get injured. Like, where's the injured party? It's a common thing they say. Where's the injured party? Where's the victim? Where's the corpus delicti? Corpus delicti is not the victim, by the way. Corpus delicti, well, like, that means there has to be a body, which means there has to be a victim. No, corpus delicti means the evidence. To convict someone, you have to have corpus delicti, which means there has to be evidence of the crime. Generally physical evidence. So if I went to the police and went, I confess, they generally still have to find evidence that the crime ever occurred in the first place. So one of the common examples that's used is a dead body, for example, which is where sovereign citizens get body, which is where they get victim. That's not how that works. If there is no physical victim, the state can still become the victim of a crime. So when they go, oh, well, a traffic infraction, there's no victim. Hey, guess what? Now this guy, allegedly, apparently, has killed someone else because he doesn't follow traffic laws. Congratulations, there's the victim. You really think the state's going to wait for every single time whether or not there's a victim? What is this, Minority Report? No, it's common goddamn sense is what it is. If you are required to operate, to be trained to operate something safely, driver's license test, for example, if you're required to have tested, be familiar with the laws and follow them, right? And you don't follow them, hey, guess what? There's a reason those laws exist. It's to keep people safe. So don't break them. Anyways, I'm getting a little heated. Does it make sense? We're making sense? We got it? Okay. Yeah, cool. All right. Moving on.
Proof of insurance on you?
I'm not in commerce, so
Oh, there it is. So we can confirm 100% already, after my little rant there, that she is a sovereign citizen, because you made the operating commerce argument, which we've already discussed, and we're not going to get into it again. It's fine. Unless someone wants me to, it's fine. I'll do it. I'll happily go into it again. I'm guessing they don't have insurance. I'm guessing they don't have anything that's required.
therefore don't need a driver's license.
You're not in what?
Commerce.
Okay. Well, you're on a public roadway within the state of Oregon. Okay, you need a driver's license.
Boom. Nailed it. Good, succinct, correct. Public roadway, state of Oregon, need a driver's license. You hit everything you needed to hit. Love it. Oh, this kid is just so good. And it gets me every time. So when I first saw this video, I was like, look at this goofy guy. And then I was listening to him like, oh, he studied up on some stuff.
Yeah.
Can you show me the law?
Law for no valid operator's license? I believe it's 806012. Or I can check that out. It might be 806010. But
I believe, if I remember correctly, it is the 0101. The fact that he just knows that off the top of his head, phenomenal, dude. Good for you. Love it. Sean, go tell on the Mountain Blue. Thank you. Stacy, thank you. I wonder how they feel about needing a pilot's license to fly. It is a form of traveling, after all. Yes. Now, there are sovereign citizens, at least one that I know of. I'm sure there are more, that have been, arrested after flying without a pilot's license. You are absolutely correct, though. And they don't like to answer that question. When you're like, what about a plane? That stuff's complicated. Kathleen says, Blue, never judge a book. You're absolutely right, which is why I keep being like, this guy. Like, oh, I felt so bad because I'm like, I made a judgment I shouldn't have. And I think we can all learn from that.
I can check that for you.
Can you show me the
He's
law?
so nice, too.
Driving while spin is 11175.
Must be hard to pull a plane over. James, yes. Unless you got a fighter jet. In which case, they'll figure it out. They'll find a way. Might not walk away from it. No, but I know it. Some people are like, that's crazy talk. I'm just going to say it in case there's someone who's unfamiliar with the actual process. Is once you land, people show up at your door and they either fine you an incredible amount of money, which actually might just show up in the mail, or they actually arrest you depending on what you actually did. They'll get you after the fact. Probably. What is happening? What just happened?
Okay. Do you have your driver's license registered? Roadway within the state of Oregon. Okay, you need a driver's license.
Yeah.
Can you show me the law? Can you show me the law?
Driving while spin is 11175.
Oh my God! Look at this guy. He's a gosh darn genius, having it all memorized. Now there were statutes I had memorized, but not that. I didn't have that memorized. Mine was like, here's how to properly display a license plate, because that's what I pulled people over for a lot. A lot. It's very easy. I did a lot of night shifts, so it's very easy to get people for license plates. And not that I don't think I ever wrote a ticket. That's probably not true. But if you're not going to have your vehicle properly, everything, I might assume reasonably that there are other issues with your vehicle. And since it's grounds for a traffic stop, don't come at me, bro. That's on you. Sorry. You think that's petty? Yeah, too bad. I did it, and I would continue to do it. And police will continue to do it. So don't put yourself in that situation if you don't like it. Or try to get the law changed, but good luck, because it's a safety thing. So unlikely to actually work. Now, thank you, Alex. She is asking him to actually show the law. No, he doesn't have to do that. But he has provided you the number if you want to check it out later. James, thank you. Have I ever interacted with this officer? Not while on duty. Unfortunately, I really wanted to. They don't tend to end up on military bases a lot. Although it does happen. It does. We would have briefings every once in a while. Like, hey, there's a sovereign citizen in this area. We're having a public event where the public is allowed on base. They might try to enter. Be on the lookout for this person, etc. I never encountered any. However, the plumber that I use, great guy, fantastic plumber, is a sovereign citizen. We have a lot of nice talks. He's very reasonable. He's a very friendly guy. Wears a kilt, carries a Glock. Pretty sure he has a illegally modified rifle in his house. That's not my business. He's a good plumber, and I'm not on duty. So, but yeah, I do interact with him, and he is a good person. Like, I'm not saying that sovereign citizens are bad people. I'm saying that they are generally, not very familiar with how law works, and he certainly isn't. He sounds great, though, when he talks about it. He sounds very convincing. But he is ignorant when it comes to that, for sure. So, Okay, what is going on? What? Internet.
Or I can check that out. It might be 8060. Okay, Miss Weaver.
Does his kilt have a holster? I've never really checked how he affixes his Glock. I'll have to check next time.
Issue citation for driving while suspended in violation, driving uninsured, failure to carry the vehicle registration.
All right. License suspended. No insurance. Didn't pay the registration fee, which is the processing fee to get your license plate, etc. Three different infractions. That's going to add up. I would put that around probably $800. Would be my guess. Not cheap. And sure, they have the right to fight it, and they can petition for a reduced fine or a payment plan. But damn, that's a lot. That's a big fine. Daryl, have I ever seen the 2015 Metro State car pulled over where Jessica tries a semi-soft sit move on the deputy sheriff? I am familiar with the video. I haven't watched it all the way through yet. So, Corey's TV says I've never been an officer in the United States. Let me see that. Where's that? I gotta check this out. Corey's TV says, quote, I did some research, and you have never been a police officer in the USA. Why do you claim you have? Just wondering. I assume JW is just wondering. Any news on I assume our buddy, Jeremy Dummy. Probably not the best way to start a question to me is saying, you've never been a police officer. That is incorrect. Military police is law enforcement. I was sworn law enforcement, gun badge, duty belt, the whole thing, police car, authority to arrest civilians, soldiers, anyone within my territorial jurisdiction. You might go, but you had a territorial jurisdiction. Yes, every law enforcement agency has a territorial jurisdiction, right, where they operate within. Now, many civilian agencies may have the ability to operate outside of those jurisdictions with permission from the other jurisdictions, which I generally did not have, although I have done interviews for criminal cases well outside of the federal property of the base, which is permitted as long as I can actually engage in any law enforcement, activities like arrests, detentions, etc., which I could have done as a citizen under citizen's arrest, but that gets complicated. It's the whole thing. Military police are police. We have the authority over everyone on a base. We enforce state law, federal law, military law. It's a whole thing. So if that's what you mean, military police aren't police, I don't know what to tell you because you're wrong. But I feel like that covers it pretty well. Did I miss anything? Checking the comments real quick. Why does he or others get to drive away with no license and not tow it, says Mary. Depends on... Did she drive it away or did he drive it away? I can't remember. We're going to get into that. Now, not having a registration, depending on how many times, like for example, Washington State, if it's your first time with your license suspended, someone can generally come get the car who is not you, someone with a valid license. If it happens a second time or a third time, I believe, it's a mandatory tow. At least it was on Joint Base Lewis McChord, where the tickets are actually much, much cheaper. See, JBLM, we only charge people the minimum amount, basically the processing fees for these tickets. So like a 500 ticket could just be $100 because that's the processing fee, etc. Which is very nice of us, but I've gotten it to add up to significant sums of money because some soldiers are dumb. But what? All right, spot this opposite in chat. This is Gunship Dreams. I wouldn't say that's a sovereign citizen argument, but Cannabis Jones asks, Blue Bacon, can military police arrest local police? If they're on base, yes. They're breaking the law on base, absolutely. Now, is it a good idea? They better be doing something really, really wrong, or else there are going to be issues. But yes, technically, I could. And they could arrest me, technically. Odds are slim that they would. It would be more of a, get a supervisor and take care of it in-house. And then if it's a serious issue, I will be charged. Military police does not mess around when it comes to bad MPs, at least not where I was. If you messed up, they don't care about you. You're only there for a couple of years. Bye. We'll just replace you with someone else. So, difference between that and, civilian police generally stay in one place for a long time. So you build up sort of that connection with each other. Not so much with military police. And it actually helps, I think, a lot. But it's not really going to be that effective to make civilians do that, move every couple of years. A lot of people generally aren't going to want that. They're already having trouble hiring, reasonable people. So, yeah. But, explanation. Hope that explains it. Malt Liquor Marauder, welcome back. Thank you so much. I love when civilians mouthed off in proprietary jurisdiction on base housing and concurrent jurisdiction, so we have to call local for civies. Yeah, like, oh, we can't deal with it? We know someone who can. Bye. Yes. Oh, Article 15s, John. Well, you can't get promoted without a couple Article 15s. That's what I'm told. Anyway, James, what movie portrays MPs most accurately? What's that one with Tom Cruise? Someone help me out here. Oh wait, no. I legitimately. There's one where Tom Cruise is military police. Is it Jack Reacher? Is that it? There's a delay, by the way, between me and the chat. So like, he's not a military police in Top Gun. Training Day, Few Good Men. People just naming Tom Cruise movies at this point. Is it Jack Reacher? Where he's like, oh, the difference between police and military police is everyone I deal with is a trained killer. Okay, well, apparently none of you. It's not a Few Good. Is it a Few Good Men? Anyway, there's a movie where Tom Cruise is military police, and it's nothing like that. We're going through all this. It's not even that. I don't really know. There aren't too many movies that are like about military police. I would say, some people get really mad at me about this. Oh, what is it? It's the World War II one where they end up Pearl Harbor. Best portrayal of military police. There's in the background. They arrest a bunch of soldiers. There's a fight and they get involved. That's as close as it gets. They're wearing their goofy helmets. Hey, what was that? Oh, someone subscribed. Hey, thanks for subscribing. Someone asked a question and can I arrest people of higher rank? Absolutely. We have this phrase that everyone hates, but we love because everyone hates it, which is don't confuse your rank with my authority. I have the authority of the base commander, who's in JBLM is going to be like a 2-3 star general, maybe 1-star general, maybe between 1 and 3 stars. No one outranks that guy except for him. And I've never seen the general commit a crime. So, wink, wink. No, I'm just kidding. No, I've legitimately never seen it. There are some MPs I'm sure will say that and be like, I never saw him commit a crime. I looked the other way. No, you don't get to be a base commander by being stupid, right? So they usually keep themselves. But I have the authority to arrest anyone of a rank, basically up to the base commander because I'm operating under the base commander's authority. So yeah, technically, yeah, any rank, just about. But yes. No, Tom Cruise wasn't in Pearl Harbor. No, I'm saying the one where Tom Cruise is like, I'm military police. I deal with trained killers every day. No, it's nothing like that. Although everyone, yes, is trained to kill, technically. There's a lot less crazy. There is. Soldiers marry some weird people. And also PTSD can be pretty horrific. A lot fewer issues with drugs, which means there's a lot less unpredictability. Although there are drug issues, I would say it's much less than outside of the base. There's you also have a rank structure. So if you're dealing with a soldier, you can play that rank card pretty well. Generally, it's not the high rank people that are committing crimes. It's going to be like lower enlisted with their house parties and whatever, or their barracks parties. So there are things that make it easier. There are things that make it harder. Every police department is different, deals with different things. So John, fastest way to make E5 in the Army is go to Germany as an E6. Trust me, I can confirm that. Not personally, but I've definitely seen it happen. Yes. All right. Why do you guys tell these Tom Cruise movies? They're not relevant at all. Oh, Stroke was my favorite Dependent story. You know what? All right, we're going to take a break. I'm going to tell this story, and we're going to get back to this. I'm going to tell it fast. We had a guy, he called us. He said, my wife has just struck me. I'm the victim of domestic assault. Now, we take that seriously. A lot of civilian departments don't. Military takes that seriously. I took it seriously. I was the investigator that arrived on scene to deal with it. He said, yeah, she just, bam, she hit me and drove off. I'm like, well, what was the argument about? Do you mind telling me? He goes, well, she had been on meth. I'm like, oh, she'd been on meth. And this isn't like a dependent eponymous story. It's just, dependent, but it's a good story, so I'm going to do it anyway. She had been on meth. She had been going through, not therapy, but whatever I'm trying to say. Like, she had been in a program to help her get off of it. She came home. She was on meth again. She struck him because he's like, I'm leaving you because you can't stop using meth. And then she drove off. I went, oh, interesting. And so while I'm getting a statement, and some of you will recognize several crimes in that story that she has committed, allegedly, she came back to the house. And the MPs that were outside, I think we had... I think actually it was DACP, Department of the Army Civilian Police, which are not restricted by the Posse Comitatus Act. I don't think. Could be wrong about that. I'm not going to... Anyway, they're like people who were civilian police for a certain amount of time, then decided to go work for the Army. Great guys. But they were just standing outside, joking around, doing whatever they were doing. She comes back and they just arrest her, and they come in like, hey, we got her. Like, oh, thanks. So we bring her into the station, and... I finished getting the statement, so they had her for a few minutes. And I come in, and they're just, like, watching the camera. I'm like, hey, what's up, guys? I go, I'm not going in there. Like, why not? Look at her. And she's in there just high out of her mind. I'm like, guys, well, we have to check on her. We have to make sure, if she needs to use the bathroom, if she needs water, whatever. We have to do, like, our 15-minute, 30-minute checks. He's like, I don't want to. I'm like, okay, cool. I'm going to go check on her. And I say this as if I was like, yeah, I got this, guys. But I was also there like, I'm with you guys. This girl's nuts. But I'm like, I'll do it. So I open the door. I'm like, hey, how's it going? She's like, hello. Right? Really cute girl. Like early 20s. Like very attractive. Which is kind of, I feel, makes it more of a shame. I don't know. Maybe that's just me being shallow. But hello. So apparently meth will make your voice do that. I did not know that at the time. I checked on that later, and they're like, yeah, that's meth voice. Like, what? Like, how are you doing? Do you need anything? I need a pencil. Like, what? No, like water? Pens. I need to express myself. What? No, I can't give you a pencil. Oh, okay. Like, yeah, what? Right? So, oh my God. I was like, yeah, no, she's way too high to get a statement from her. We'll do that later. So I bring her in a couple days later. She's much more sober, although I don't actually believe she was entirely sober. Now that I've thought about this, I'm like, there were some weird things. Maybe it was just that's who she is as a person. But she comes in. I'm like, all right, here's your rights advisal, blah, blah. I build rapport. Here's your rights advisal. We're going to ask you about domestic assault, introduction and consumption of drugs on a military installation, and driving while under the influence of drugs. And she goes, yep, that sounds about right. I'm not going to talk, though. Like, okay, well, thanks for your confession already. But thank you. All right, maybe I exaggerated her voice, but it was definitely it was weird. It was super weird. So I bring her in for fingerprinting, and this is where I messed up. And so I'm, rolling her fingerprints on the machine, which I prefer ink, personally. The machine's too temperamental. I was trained on ink. I liked ink. But we have a machine that actually scans them. It's whatever. And, get to that. Get to the middle finger. Now, as part of building and maintaining rapport, right? Being an approachable, friendly guy so that I can maybe reapproach them and ask them more questions later. What I'll do is say, F the police. Because, the middle finger's out, right? Like, F the police, am I right? And, what? And she freezes. I'm like, oh no, she thinks I'm propositioning her. No. She goes, you can't say that. That's not very nice. I'm like, ma'am, I am the police. What? You are? Like, yes. Oh, okay. And that was the last time I ever used that because I was like, that could have gone bad. If she had thought I was propositioning her, that would have been trouble for me. But yes, that is, That's one of my favorite stories with dealing with a dependent. As far as like dependent polygamous, like, you can't do that, my husband has rank. Like, yes, we've encountered that before. Like, your husband's a specialist. These 3 chevrons here is a sergeant. Oh, but even if he outranked me, don't confuse his rank with my authority. That card got played a few times, and I knew they hated it, and I knew it's very much like, oh, stereotypical MP, but I love it just for the on their faces. Anyway, but that's my story. You know how easily I get distracted. Let's keep watching
The
this.
court date is 9/23/2013 at 8:30 a.m. at 225 West All Street in Newport, Oregon, Lincoln County Courthouse.
Nice.
These are all violations. They're not mandatory appearances. You appear by mail at that address right there.
Now that means you can just pay it and not deal with it at all. It's fine. That's great. You know, you can just be like, yeah, here's the money. But that's going to be a lot of money, I would presume. Just guessing.
There's 4 officers in the back, take the way and take care of it. Okay? Any questions about your citation?
Bob, I know. I'm sorry. This is unrelated to this video at all. How did Jeremy's trial get pushed back again? I know.
No questions. Do you have a business card?
Jeremy, don't do that.
What's that?
Do you have a business card?
Again, classic business card request. You can request it. They don't necessarily have to provide it to you. Depends on the department and whether or not business cards are available.
I'm sure I do. Would you like one?
Yeah.
He's so nice.
Do you carry any bond?
Do you?
I've had this discussion with you numerous times.
Okay, so these people are known to this guy. Do you have a bond? That's not a thing. I have no idea. I've never talked to an officer who has any idea what this bond thing is referring to. I assume it has to do with the whole corporation. Like, America's a corporation, so police have to have bonds, like bond paperwork. Literally, we have no idea what that is. No one has been able to explain it to me in a way that makes sense. So, oh my God, red pill for life. Are you a red pill life for life? Hold on, I gotta pause. I did see a sergeant major make a PFC write him the ticket in front leading rest position. Yeah, if I have a weapon on me, I can say, well, sergeant major, that's not gonna happen because I have a weapon and be detrimental to my safety. Also, I would consider that obstruction because you're unreasonably delaying my investigation and application of law. So unless you want to actually be arrested as opposed to just receive a ticket, I'm not going to go into the front leading rest, and I will consider any other attempts to make me go into the front leading rest or to go to parade rest, anything like that. I would consider that an attempt to obstruct justice, and I will arrest you for it. So I encourage you not to say anything while I write this ticket, and then if you have questions or concerns, you may address them to me at that time. And if you dislike what I've said to you today, here is my name. I have a name tape. Spell it right. File a complaint. Do an ICE report. Talk to the desk sergeant. That's fine. But you will not put me, and you will not attempt to put me in the front leading rest while I am doing my job, etc., etc. I've done that to a staff sergeant who tried to get uppity on me. I've never done that to a sergeant major. And I'm sure I was less articulate about it then than I am now. But that's nuts. It's nuts that well, you know, PFC, you're not gonna know what direction is up as a PFC, so, you know.
I don't know what you mean by bonds. I don't know any of that.
Well, you have to have bond or limited liability insurance.
Okay.
No, you don't.
So there's that. I'm not going to tow your vehicle, but you're not okay to drive away from here. Okay?
Which means find someone else to get it out of here before whoever owns the property decides to have it towed. Right? Which you might have some time, depending on, you know, if there's like anyone parked here for more than 24 hours. Right? Well, you might have 24 hours to find someone. Great, good for you. But probably all of your friends are sovereign citizens without licenses. Presumably, nobody in this vehicle has a license. None of them can drive it. So, blammo. Would I do that to a general? I would do it very respectfully to a general. If I was like, you will not. A general would know better than to put me in the front leading rest while I write a ticket. If a general tried that, I would call every supervisor I had, to include the civilians, and be like, hey, this general. And they'd be like, first of all, why are you messing with the general? I'd be like, because that's my job. And I'd probably get yelled at for getting that far into whatever was happening. But if I'm about to write you a ticket, your rank is not going to convince me not to. Now, I'm going to be cautious about what petty nonsense I pull with people with rank. But if I witness you committing a crime, your rank is not going to be a factor. Nor should it. But if the general tried to put me like, hey, you go to a position of attention while you talk to me, like, I'm on duty and there's a gun right here, so I'm not going to go to a position of attention. Sorry about that. That's hey, I'd love to, sir. I'd love to, but department policy is while I'm armed, I do not go to position of attention. You know, et cetera, et cetera. So, you know, that's how that works.
Okay. If you drive away from here, you're going to be subject to more citations in the vehicle tow.
Really?
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Yes. What do you mean, really?
Okay, so you got to get somebody with a license down here to drive.
Oh, he's so
Okay.
nice. He's so nice and
There's
knowledgeable.
that.
I like this guy. We need more police like him, potentially. I say as if, you know, this one interaction that we've seen him is every single interaction. You know, I'm not saying there aren't interactions where he like messes up real bad, but I like what I'm seeing. This he gets my stamp of approval. Yeah, I'll do it. I'll do it. He gets a stamp of approval. If he ever sees this video, good job, kid.
For you. Are you going to take
You, I'm sorry. I got to pause this. Honor Swanson, you maced a majors in E5. He refused to ID. Ooh. That's what's up. I mean, yeah, no, if he refuses to ID on a military base, it's if they're military, it's license, registration, proof of insurance, and military ID. They're required to provide all of those. And yes, they do have to have their military ID on them. That's an expectable item while in uniform. I'm assuming this guy is in uniform. When you're in uniform, you're required to have that on you. At least JBLM, which is, you know, down the highway about 50 minutes that way. I point as if it's close by. You had to put a table of LT and caps in their place during a weapons lesson for my unit. It was the best thing ever. That's what's up. That's what's up. I had a captain that I charged with dereliction of duty, and oh my God, like I had people coming for my career, and fortunately, my unit, the entire brigade stepped in and was like, you better stop. An agreement was made, everything worked out, but like people, there was a sergeant major, a first sergeant, and a captain that were like, all right, oh, this guy? Oh, okay, yeah. We'll have his rank. We'll have his career. Like, oh, you want whatever? Like, look, I'm just doing my job based on the reports given to me. I don't know what to tell you. Maybe don't be a bad captain. be more in charge. Be a better leader. Yes. Good times. Good times, folks. Captain's dumb.
take it?
Nope.
Wait. Hold on.
Take it?
All right.
Nope.
Yep. And there it is. That's fair. That's fair game right there. Please consider liking and subscribing. Yes, go to DDS TV's thing and give them an old like. And if you like my video, feel free to like this one as well.
So he's telling us
chair.
we cannot drive.
We're not driving. We're traveling.
Oh, we got him, folks. Oh, look at us. We're not driving. We're traveling. We obviously know what we're talking about, which is why we're getting citations in the first place. Don't worry. What? Are you kidding me? Really? Oh my God. It's just the stupidest thing. Like, aha, we got him here. Andrea, has anyone gotten under my skin? If how so? How did I get my composure? There was one time where I actually like lost it on someone. He was infantry. He was brand new to the base. He's being driven to his barracks room by his roommate who had picked him up. And I was in the middle of a traffic stop. And as he goes by, as the specialist drives the PFC by, the PFC, who was the infantry guy, leans out the window and goes, F you pigs. Now, if I was a civilian police officer and he was a civilian, I wouldn't have been able to do anything about that, which is fine. But I turned to the soldier, the private I was training. He was OJT, on the job training. And I go, hey, does that sound like a disrespect to a non-commissioned officer? Maybe it sounds like conduct unbecoming of a soldier? And he goes, yeah, it kind of does, doesn't it? I went, all right, well, we can pull him over for that. And we did. And we pulled him over for conduct unbecoming of a soldier in violation of Article 142? I got to check that. And then Article 91. Hold on. It's been so long. Article 91 of the UCMJ, which is insubordination towards a non-commissioned officer, warrant officer, or petty officer. All right, so yeah, Article 91 and Article, is it 142? That is not correct. Conduct unbecoming of a soldier, UCMJ. 130, is it 132? Shh, stop it. Oh, 134. It's 134. Article 134 is conduct unbecoming of a soldier. And so we're like, all right, yeah, we'll pull him over for that because we have the right to stop a soldier who is engaging in violation of the United States United Code of Military Justice. That's the word I'm looking for. So we did. And I go over to the driver. I'm like, hey, can I get your stuff? He's like, yep, here it is. Right now, again, civilians probably, I mean, they wouldn't be able to do this. But this is a military base. And I have a lot of authority over military, even more than I would have over civilians. So, for those of you being like, that's unlawful. Nah. Military base. Right? Military. The UCMJ. It's a whole thing. So, thank you. I can't believe I didn't think of, I couldn't remember 134, 142. Article 40. It doesn't matter. Anyway. So driver was like, oh my God, like, he's super friendly guy. Good for him. I went over to the passenger. I'm like, hey, I need your stuff. And he goes, okay. Sure, dude. Gives it to me. I went, hey, bud. Hey, not trying to start anything, but you see this right here? That's a sergeant rank. Yeah, I don't know how new you are to the Army, but we're gonna address me with a little respect, or else I'm gonna charge you under Article 92, disrespect towards non-commissioned officers. Technically insubordination. Semantics. He goes, okay, Sergeant. I'm like, okay, getting a little close. It's fine. And so he continues to be like that. And I'm like, look, bud, here's the deal. You know why I pulled you over? He's like, yeah, because of what I said out the window. I'm like, yeah. So Article, what was it? 134, conduct unbecoming of a soldier. Right? You're breaking laws here. Here's what we can do. I can write you a citation for it, which goes to your commander. Or you can give me the number of your sergeant, whoever's in charge of you, and I can talk to them about addressing your behavior. He goes, I don't know who my sergeant is. Like, what are you talking about? He goes, I don't know who my sergeant is. Like, great. You know who your sergeant is? Nope, no idea. Couldn't tell you. All right, who's your first sergeant, bud? No, literally don't know. Commander? Nope. What unit are you in? What unit are you in? I'm like, I'm in this unit. He goes, maybe I'm in the same unit as you. I'm like, no, you're not. No, you're not. And I had been having like a bad week already. Thank you, Ibatha. And I'm just like, bro, we're not going to play this game, right? So here's what's going to happen. You're going to stop what you're doing, and you're going to make a decision. Because now I've asked you a question. You do have to answer it because Sergeant PFC, right? I'm going to contact your unit. What is your unit? Because they have to identify that to me, by the way. And part of this story might not be completely accurate, but whatever I did, I know it was correct. So I opened the door. I'm like, get out. He goes, no. And he's a big dude. I opened the door and went, oh, boy. I'm like, get out. He's like, I'm not going to. Make me. I will. I pull out my taser. And this is the only time I've ever pulled a taser on someone. I'm like, get out now. And the driver's just like, he Snapchatted the whole thing. It was great. I had no problems with it. And he's like, do you mind if I get out? And so I'm not like in the way. I'm like, oh no, you're great. You're great. Yeah, if you, I recommend stepping back by the trunk. It's probably gonna be safe for you. Oh, okay. I'm like, yeah, you keep doing you. And you, I went back to the whatever. And I was like, I am going to tase you right now. He goes, do it. I went, oh, am I doing this because I'm mad at this dude, or am I doing this because of the right thing? So I called him back up. I said, I just need more MPs here. And I think I got like 3 other MPs and the civilian lieutenant who's been doing this for ages. Great guy. And they eventually, talked him into being arrested. But like at one point, every single MP had a taser out because of what this guy was starting to flex. Like, oh, he got out of the car. He's like, all right. And every MP's just like, what? Stop. Right. And I'm like putting my taser away and getting the handcuffs out. Like, let's go. And eventually he's like, all right, no, you got me. And I went to handcuff him and the lieutenant's just like, stop, not you. No, let's have someone else do it. I'm like, yeah, you're right. You're right. But that's the most heated I ever got at someone And I was disappointed in myself because although I was correct, and I know a lot of it's like, police can't do that. Military dealing with military, rank dealing with other rank. There are a lot of things that factor into it. I'm not proud of it. I'm not proud that I lost my temper like that. That's the only time I lost my temper. I prided myself in my ability to maintain my composure. And I still do. It's just that one day was not the day to mess with me. And I just was not having it. And he did say he thought it was because he was black, which shouldn't be relevant. The only reason I bring it up is because he said it. And it's not. It's because he was a little D-bag. Is what he was. And I was the one who actually interviewed him. I took my PC off and whatever. He didn't even recognize me without it on. I was like, oh, all right, sir. Let's talk about it. He goes, yeah, that MP, what a dick. I'm like, yeah, I bet he was. Tell me more. Right? And I think like halfway through, he realized that I was the same guy and just sort of like got a little quieter. Anyway, his lieutenant picked him up. I'm like, hey, like this is what happened. Have a talk with him. It was a thing. They go home and break a toy boat. I only do that for you guys. That's not who I am as a person. I don't break things. Anyway, yeah, you know how easy I am to distract with my war stories of not being in war. And we're going to go back to this.
Exactly.
Exactly. We're not driving, we're traveling. Yeah, see how that works out for you, bud. There it is. The police. Like, if you're going to do it, don't do it in front of the officer who pulled you over and said, don't do this. You stupid. Like, your argument already didn't work about the commerce thing. Why would it work now?
Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, I think they drive to their house, too. Oh, Roland, that's a good point, actually. I hadn't thought about that.
Are you detaining me?
Yes,
Do you
I am.
understand this?
Are you kidding me? He's telling you to put your hands behind your back. What do you think is happening, dude?
Deprivation of my
Behind
rights.
your back.
And do you also
Turn
understand
around and put your hands behind your back.
the no trespassing sign right there?
Okay, so here's the deal. We're going to deal with... I'm glad we talked about this briefly earlier. Who's messaging? Oh, nobody's messaging me. That's fine. Paparazzar parachuting into my quarters. That's right. Break the hot sauce? No, I love that hot sauce. It's so tasty. Yeah, so exigent circumstances. Did I talk about exigent circumstances before? Or was that... I recorded a couple videos today to edit later. I don't know if I talked about exigent circumstances for those or earlier in the stream. It doesn't matter. Exigent circumstances. An officer can enter an area without a warrant, or one would normally be required if they have reason to believe evidence is being destroyed. They witness a crime in the area, or they follow someone in hot pursuit or fresh pursuit who has committed a crime to that area, and then they can access it regardless of whether or not it's private. There's another one I'm missing, which might be, I don't know, I feel like there are 4 main ones. Not sure. James, thank you. Eat something. Oh, I don't have any. I got you guys. I got you. Donate. I'll sip some hot sauce. That's all I'm saying. James, first one's for you. It's good. Anyway, but yes, the rabbit, he's in prison now for killing an elderly couple. Now I'm not going to be able to talk. In a car accident, that's what I've been told. I haven't reviewed it yet, but that seems likely.
164265.
You don't understand.
Will you give her my wallet and stuff?
Aaron says, also any crime seen by the cop, regardless of connection to the initial crime, is usable. Yes, plain view. If I hear someone being slapped in the face a bunch in a house, right? I just use that as an example. If I, domestic violence or any violence in a house, and that gives me the right to enter and break down your door. If I see like a bunch of guns and drugs and money, congratulations, all that is fair game as well, as long as the initial reason I enter the house is lawful, which gets into the fruit of the poisonous tree doctrine, which we've talked about before. But if I observe a crime or criminal activity or evidence of crime, etc., based on my lawful whatever reason to be somewhere, it's in plain view, I can then charge you for it. So, weird.
You have a serious deprivation of rights problem, man. You're violating
You have a serious issue with knowing how the law works, bud.
Title 18, 241, and 242.
Okay, 241, 242 is the one that they always bring up. Always. It's about deprivation of rights, or the use of basically color of law or police or government force to deprive someone of their rights. Something. I'm fairly certain that's what it is. They bring it up all the time. They almost never use it correctly. It's fine. And Kathleen, the officer gave them a chance. And they just went, was it Toledo, Oregon? I don't know what that is in Oregon.
You had to poop. Why are you doing that?
We had to poop. Use the bathroom in the gas station you were at, or wherever you were.
It was raining. My kids are in the car. It's my son's birthday picture. Hey, you will take the stuff out of my. You will take my stuff out and give it to my wife
on my terms.
Hey, dude.
Probably shouldn't do this on your son's birthday if you don't want to, get arrested on your son's birthday.
Picture. Our son had to poop.
This is inhumane, man. How do you think this is even justified, man? You think this is justified, man?
Thank you. Did the guy you arrested get in trouble? It became you're talking about the infantry guy, and hey, you donated. I gotta do it. I think it became a 15-6 investigation, which means that the unit took over the, how are they going to do it? So, I mean, that could have been he gets extra duty. I don't think he got an Article 15 for it. I'm almost certain he didn't face criminal charges. But, yeah, his unit would have been responsible for administering some sort of punishment. I don't know what they did, if they did anything. But, good old Tapatio. Salsa picante. Ooh. How much to drink the bottle? There's a lot of hot sauce here. You donate. Oh my God. I don't even know how we'd get it all out. That might kill me. Can you overdose on hot sauce? I don't know. $500, I'll drink the bottle. That's probably no. I'm not. Because it's gonna burn coming in. It's gonna be much worse coming out. If I hear a man slapping a woman, then break the door down and they are just knocking boots. Can you still get him for the guns and drugs? As long as the entry was reasonable and I had avowed reason to believe that violence was occurring, yes, I believe, generally. And if it gets thrown out, that's the prosecutor's choice, not mine. To put the hot sauce in a shot glass? That's why I have these. All right. What are your offers? What do you offer for a shot glass of hot sauce? Well, you guys figure it out. Right?
I don't stand under.
Northwest A and about industrial.
My 4-year-old.
This is how I keep the channel going. Is shot glasses full of hot sauce. And you can think I'm selling out to myself.
Son has to take a crap. It is his birthday.
Aaron, thank you. Feeling that someone who just made a poor financial decision just to chug the bottle. That's right. Poor financial decisions. Oh, I got on my lip. That's going to be a problem later. His entry or mine?
Day-to-day. You had to sit
Why
there
are you
5
doing
minutes.
Ma'am, I suggest if your son needs to use the bathroom, you go ahead and let him use the bathroom.
I love that so much. Like, ma'am, your son had to poop. Let him poop. Like, I thought this was an emergency or something. Huh. Oh, Cannabis Jones. Hot Ones. Love that show, first of all. I've gotten a couple of their hot sauces. Stroke Assaulter. Either are valid within the United States if you can produce your own currency in gold or silver if you wanted to, if you were a state, which I assume you're not. But yeah. Oh, Irene was telling me, yeah, there's an anti-mask protest in Canada, and people had MAGA signs and pro-Trump stuff, but that doesn't make any sense. I'm not going to tell you, what signs to hold or whatever. I'm going to say that if you're doing that in Canada, what? Does that make sense? I don't think so. If I was like, who's that? Is it Rob something? The guy with the cocaine problem in Canada? It doesn't matter because I can't remember his name. But I was like, I don't know. It's weird. It's weird. Hot Ones with Gordon Ramsay. I did see that one. I remember the one with who's that guy on Cutthroat Kitchen? Don't remember, but he's like, yeah, your chicken's wrong. Maybe that was Gordon Ramsay. When they're like, hey, this is overcooked. Like, what? Rob Ford, that's the one. Thank you. Yeah, if I was like, yeah, go Rob Ford. Like, what? This isn't. Yeah, he did die. Yes, that's true. All right, James. I don't know. 10 is a little low for a shot at hot sauce. A little low. A little low. It's not a shot, but it's not a small amount. Anyway. Oh, Doug. Yeah, Doug's still around. All right. I'm going to... Sean, thank you. All right. Oh, my God, you guys. You guys know I don't have a bathroom. All I got is the garage and the laundry room. Irene, these bastards. Oh, no. I got it on my phone. My phone's probably not clean, so... All right, we're gonna. Oh my God, that's just a lot of hot. I still have water. A little water. All right,
but why are you doing this?
Ma'am, if your son needs to use the bathroom,
you're taking his father on his birthday. Why are you doing this, pitcher?
The camera and her husband were both arrested. Charges include resisting arrest.
The camera and her. That threw me for a loop. The camera, what? No, that's fun. Anyway, but the rest of the charges include resisting arrest, unlawful operation of vehicles, speeding and driving with a suspended license. That sounds about right. Because he did pull away, kind of looked like. Is it my birthday today? No, it's not. Not yet. Someday. Anyway. All right. Here's to you guys. You bunch of jerks. Really got swirled around. Oh. Wow. Kathleen, I don't think I want a full shot. Oh, that came back. I don't think I want a full shot. I'm going to start turning red. I'll zoom in for you guys. Okay, well, it looks red. That's just because the light is dying through the windows. And it messes with the camera. There you go. Stroke assault, I'll check that out. I don't have any milk. I'm screwed. Anyway. I have no dairy. Great. So that's the end of this Sovereign Citizen videos. I feel like we've learned something today. Had a lot of fun. And now I'm just going to hang out with you guys. What do you guys want to know? Ooh, I do love chicken and waffles. Dreamer, thank you. Moonshine, I could use that for shots. Hey, yeah. Okay, I'm not this red. I'm turning into a blueberry. It's the lighting. It's changing. All right, this is the last one. This is the last one I'm going to do. And then none of your money will matter. Where'd that go? That went really far down. The old throat there. Oh, the spicy V8. Oh, it's incredible, guys. If you like V8. Thank you, everyone, for those donations for hot sauce drinking. Look, I don't have Jeremy DeWitt, so I gotta figure out how to get them donations somehow. It still makes it sound as the world flat. Cannabis Jones? Well, obviously the Earth is a cube. That's what the government doesn't want you to know. Uh-oh. No, I will not snort the hot sauce, but I will. Wait for
That's
this.
not a firearm, Sergeant.
Why doesn't it play the entire thing?
Sergeant.
Damn it. I thought I'd fixed that. It's Tapatio. Thank you, user not found. I'm not gonna. Okay, I'll do another little sip. But I'm not chugging it anymore. Yeah. People of Walmart videos. I should. All right. We're putting the hot sauce away. It's over. It's done. Habeas corpus is Latin for, what's that, suspension of... Habeas corpus. See, when I think of habeas corpus, and I don't know if I'm thinking correctly, I'm thinking of the suspension of the right to certain aspects of trials. I'm fine. What are you talking about? Habeas corpus is a thing that lawyers deal with. Not me. Habeas corpus. You're not found. Thank you. A writ requiring a person under arrest to be brought before a judge or into court, especially to secure the person's release and also for grounds, whatever. Really? Oh, well, I guess I don't know. Oh, I'm thinking of something completely different. Christine, thank you. How do I think the Derek Chauvin conviction will change law enforcement? Oh, I'm hoping accountability. I'm hoping it sets precedents. You know, it's a thing, man. But looking on the, what it will, I think it will benefit. I honestly do. I've long been an advocate for police accountability, and I think that this is going to sort of change how seriously that is taken, right, within the departments. And that it could be in a bad way, it could be in a good way, etc. But we'll see. I like to be optimistic. Tom Hunter, thank you. Hey, B-Money. Did you guys have a SWAT team equivalent of the MPs at the bases you served at? How do they handle high-risk incidents? We did. They had a specific name that I can't remember, and I knew a couple guys that had tried out and gotten in. It's something unit. Army, SWAT. Hold on. There is a thing. And I can't remember what the name of it is. SWAT equivalent? If any of you know, like, SWAT team, it's called the Army. SRT, that's it, Special Reaction Team, I think. Army SRT. Army SRT. Yeah, Special Reaction Team. So that's the Army, like, SWAT equivalent. But, and JBLM had it. They never used it because there was an incident where one of them, like, years and years and years ago, like, shot another, like, a civilian officer by accident. And basically the base is like, yeah, you can exist. We're just calling regular SWAT now. Like, not, no. We'll wait for them. It's fine. So, yes, they have it. Yes, they train. And they get real good at shooting and tactics and stuff. But they're never called. Germany had the same thing where you had people that trained to do it, but like the German police were like, no, you will call our SWAT to your bases. And yeah, since we're in their country, basically they can make that request, and it was decided, yep, it's a good request. So I've been on bases with them. I've never been on a base where they were actually ever used. And maybe that's changed for JBLM. I don't know. But thank you. You should not found. How did the Army process non-judicial punishments? We in the Navy called it MAST. It would be through Article 15 generally. It's going to be, so that's going to be reduction of pay, reduction in rank, or extra duty. That would be for, still you get a trial in front of a judge, but the jury is made up of usually high-ranking soldiers or officers. You also have 15-6 investigations, which are handled by the unit. That's sort of the smaller stuff where it's not, going to be a jury trial, but it still should be dealt with in some way, which is generally going to end up in a counseling. Or they can initiate a Article 15 situation themselves, et cetera, et cetera. So it's going to be a 15-6 or an Article 15 would be non-judicial. Although Article 15 can become judicial, I believe. Yes. And if there's a judicial thing, it's going to get in Article 15. It can be dealt with military law and civilian law. It's a whole thing. It gets weirdly complicated. I didn't pay too much attention because it wasn't terribly relevant to me. I just showed up and testified and said, yes, I did my job. And they went, okay. It was good times. Good times. Oh. Anyway, we still have that Jeremy DeWitt, the story to read. Not today. We'll do a chill stream one of these days. But, yeah. Have I ever seen a musical ride? I don't know. Wasn't I making a new video? Yes. Yes. On which? I filmed 2 new ones today. One was the Micaiah Bryant shooting. One was an incident where people thought the National Guard were doing something stupid, when in reality it wasn't the National Guard and it wasn't stupid. John, sunshine off the sidewalk. Yep. What is the difference between a non-commissioned officer and E5 as incognito? None yet. Well, a non-commissioned officer is anyone from E5, with the exception of corporal, is E4, which is a lateral rank, as opposed to, it's not necessarily permanent. It's a whole thing. You don't get extra money for it. So you have corporal at E4, but that's a separate thing. That's specialist. But they are technically not a commissioned officer. Then you have E5, which is sergeant, E6, which is staff sergeant, E7, which is sergeant first class, E8, which is either a master sergeant or a first sergeant. I think both of them are E8 technically. If I'm getting this wrong, it's going to be super embarrassing. And then E9 is sergeant major or command sergeant major or sergeant major of the Army. Or is that E10? Sergeant Major of the Army. I don't know. I've only met the Sergeant Major of the Army once, and I didn't think to ask that question. What else? What other questions? What kind of interest do you have in D&D? It's great. Love it. The problem is I always want to play a rogue, which usually like a halfling rogue type situation, which, you know, I really need to branch out, but I love them so much. What are the police like in Europe? German Polizei, very friendly, very polite. They will mess you up if they want to. You don't cross them, but they know what they're doing. They're also very lazy, in the sense that, I mean, Europe laws. Hold on, actually, let me get to this real quick. B. Durant, did I ever work with canines? Any funny stories I can share? Yes, I will get to the canines. Don't let me forget. Anyway, if you ever seen Muppets Most Wanted, I recommend you do it, because the Interpol agent is just like dealing with German Polizei. It's when their day is done, it's done, right? And they're always like, you Americans, you work so hard. Like, why do you work so hard? Like, what? Or is that not normal? Europe, they generally have much stricter laws on when you can work and when you can't, and what an employer can require you to do. That applies to police as well. So like, oh yeah, if you know that you need your translation for your case, which has very specific time requirements, but I am on vacation. Oh, I also took my sick leave. It's been a month. Haha. Right? Which, like, good for them. I'd love that. But it made our job very difficult. Because, like, oh, yeah, no, nothing happened. So we left at 3:30 today instead of 5. Like, but your day ends at 5. Yeah, but there was nothing happening. But we need you. Oh, well, we'll get to it. But you won't. You're all on vacation. Oh, that's what it was like. Dealing with the investigators. The Polizei were great. Dealing with their, like, investigation division. The Creepo, which would be their drug stuff. Oh, it's nuts. Watch Muppets Most Wanted. The inspector, it's exact. It's crazy. You think it's like, oh, what a funny joke. Like, nope. No, that's 100% what it's like. Canines. Have I ever worked with canines? Yes, I've had, God, I'm purple. Whatever. It's fine. It's because the light's changing. I had to put a blackout curtain there. It's fine. It's whatever. We'll get to it. Yeah, I've never been a dog handler, but I've worked with people who were, and then I've used them. I've called them in to do searches of rooms and stuff. I don't really have any good stories, other than don't pet the dogs, But they're very cute. They're very nice. I've gone through the bite training, and let me tell you, not fun. Even with a suit, not fun, terrifying. But it was cool to do. Cool to be like, what's the experience like? But Island Girl, what question do you ask? I'm sorry. Did I miss a good question? I'm not trying to avoid any of you. John, thank you. The musical ride is done by the RCMP, and it's incredibly impressive how much control they have on the horses. Oh, yes. Okay. No, I've never seen it. I think I'm familiar with it. The idea of it. I think it's come up before. But I'm going to have to check that out. Stacy, thank you so much. Speaks du Deutsch. Vierpistig erschlockende Deutsch mein Federmappen. Ja? That's it. That's all I got. I can order a little bit of fast food, ask where the bathroom is, and insult people. That is it. And I tried to. But they're like, no, we want to learn English. Like, no, your English is better than my English. Stop it. Tom's ski video. I didn't see that question. Let me scroll up. 90 days, extra 90 days in a row. Even the first round became boys. I love it. Sorry, I just came across that. Oh, Alger, there it is. Did I ever see that video about Tom Ski who's impersonating a police officer while telling Jeremy to do it not to impersonate a police officer? I don't think so, but I want to. Yes. No, I just missed that question entirely. I didn't see it. Yeah. Bork Nom Noms. 90 pound for Mrs. The Goodest Boys. A canine by any other name is just as cool. Somebody watches Donut Operator. Yeah, I'm calling you out. No, it's good. Donut Operator puts out some good information. He's a lot of fun. Ottawa Police did a test with FLIR on a couple patrol cars. I asked the cop friend about how the project worked. It worked okay, he said. Okay, but the canine could also find and detain. Oh, to see if people were in a car. I assume FLIR is heat signature. He's like, why would he need FLIR when you have a dog? That's true. That's fair. You right. Black, blue, black. What? Kathleen, what's your question? The old bushes, yes. Oh, the FLIR was the FLIR mounted on the patrol car? That makes sense. The European working time directs to make sure people don't work too hard. I wish we had that, honestly. Wouldn't that be nice? There are definitely some businesses that could afford to implement that sort of thing. But my camouflage is malfunctioning. Yes. FLIR can't bite someone. You're right. Unless you chuck the FLIR device. Those are expensive. Let me tell you. Some of y'all comments. Someone's going to complain later. Like, why did he just ramble on to the end? Like, because this is the end. It's where I just get to talk to you guys. You weirdos. Someone's going to do it, though. Blackout curtains. I may order those. Tom, thank you. This is Willy Wonka. Please return the experimental gum that's gone missing. It was so tasty, though. Recently had an unfortunate incident with it. Thank you. Well, at least, at least I look good in this color. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, but thank you. Yes. It's good. It's a good joke. You're nut. When's Jeremy's next court date? I think it got pushed to next month. I don't know why. It kills me. I did not hear the interview about Jeremy that he never paid for his lunch at that Chick-fil-A. But now I want to. Yes. Wouldn't surprise me if it's true, honestly. There's no water in here. Oh, man. It's not fair. Awful lot of people not commenting. I could have an entire conversation. No. Anyone else? Anyone else want to ask questions? I'll probably at some point put the hot sauce back. There's a thing I found out that you can do on Streamlabs where you can spin a wheel, and it might be a donation reward, right? Like if you what is the donation what is the reward for donating going to be for that video? And then every time someone donates, take a shot of hot sauce or something. Or we get to a certain amount, I'll sing karaoke. Although that might get the stream shut down, so I don't know. Chris Weidman leg break? Oh, are we talking about the fight? I say as if I know what you're talking about. No, I didn't. Oh, yeah, Speedway first responder card. Yeah, we shouldn't have that. Flashing red and blue? Because I'm a cop. Wait. Oh, no, I think I changed. Those aren't going to... these lights that I use actually do change colors. So, I don't think they're going to be responsive because I changed the Wi-Fi. Thanks, Kathleen. Where is... It's not going to work anyway. I'm going to find it. Have I ever gotten the professional courtesy on a traffic stop? Like, they're like, oh, you were a police officer? You're an MP? Oh, we'll leave you alone. No, because I don't get stopped because I follow the law. They, can't get stopped if you don't break it. You know what I'm saying? If you don't commit a traffic infraction, you don't have to deal with the police. I wouldn't know. I've never, I had an MP try that actually, where you're going to a party, on the Air Force side of JBLM. And I'm pretty sure I had pre-gamed. I'm not much of a drinker, but it's the Army. So I've been pre-gaming. I'm in the back, like, hey, yeah, woo, minding my own business. And we're at the back end of basically 3 other cars that are driving down the roads from the Army side to the Air Force side. And all of a sudden, lights pop on, pull us over. And we were speeding, definitely. And by we, I mean I had nothing to do with it. I was just like, yep, here we go. Not my problem. I'm not the one in charge of the vehicle. And I actually knew the officer. He was a civilian DACP, really good guy. He, goes to the window. I'm like, hey, it's that guy. I need to hide my face. And he goes, license, registration, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. I'm like, why are you guys driving so fast? And the guy goes, well, we were going to a friend's place. And, he was supposed to lead us. We were going back to the barracks, yeah. And I was trying to follow my friend, but he's going so fast, we were speeding to catch up. And he's like, are you going to the barracks? Like, in your army? You're going the wrong way. He goes, no, well, I'm new. I'm an MP. I just went, oh, no. Because the response to that should be, oh, you're a police officer? You're an MP? Then you should know better. That's the response that it should be. And he gave that response. And I saw it coming because I know this guy. I just went, oh, you dumb nerd. But he looked at all of us and he's like, I'll lead you back to the barracks, which was the opposite direction. This guy straight up lied to this officer. I'm just like, I'm drunk. I'm not getting involved. I'm not the one who's in trouble. And so he led us back, and then we just turned around and was like, hey, where are the directions? But I don't know if he actually let us go because the guy was an MP or whatever. But he had a very good response to it. It was like, you should know better. Why would that be an excuse? So, can citizens arrest a cop? Technically, they can do a citizen's arrest, but it's not going to work. Like, legally, yes, they could. You're not going to win that fight, though. Why is it? Because the lighting is going, the sun's setting, so it's giving me all the weird colors. That's why my face is matching my sleeves. Yeah. Kathleen, it's amazing how you don't get in trouble or get a ticket if you don't break the law, which is why I say learn the law. Like, it helps to know it. But yeah, that officer gave it to him good, and I was sitting there like, yep, that's right. Like, I'm not gonna get involved, but he's right, and I respect him for doing that. So, have I ever been offered special favors to let someone go? No, actually, I don't think I ever have. And I'm glad I didn't. Not because I would have taken it, but because it would have made me incredibly angry. It would have pissed me off. That's absolutely, do not ever do that. If anyone had ever done that to me, I would have, they'd be on the ground in handcuffs. Well, maybe not on the ground, but they'd be in handcuffs. There's no question. I don't care if they're offering me $1 million. You're getting handcuffed. It's not going to happen. Huh. Good times. Anyway, we're about to hit the 2-hour mark. I think we're going to stop it there. You guys have been incredible, as always. I always love doing these streams, interacting with you guys. I think the ends are usually my favorite part because we just get to, drink hot sauce and talk about things. But, all good things have to come to an end. So, next week, I'm going to try Friday. We'll see. Do another stream. We'll think about what we want to talk about. Maybe do it. We'll do something new. Who knows? But we'll do another stream next week if we can fit it in. We definitely should be able to sometime. I will keep you guys updated on that. Thank you so much for everything. You guys are phenomenal. For those of you who donated, incredible. For those of you who didn't, still phenomenal. Love that all of you are here. If you want to, you can hit that like button. If you don't, that's up to you. I appreciate it if you do. If you're not subscribed but you want to be, you know how it works. I don't need to run you through the whole details. It's pretty self-explanatory. But until the next time, be good, stay safe. And now I pause because otherwise it's just going to cut out while I'm talking.